Some people might say that you're the reincarnation of the American dream. You started as a windows washer.
Sure.
Inherited the firm from your elderly brother?
Well, if you want to call it inherited from my father, that's kind of a... He was in high school.
Yeah.
He was in high school and started a window washing company.
Yeah.
Washed windows. So when he went off to college, he gave it to me and said, here, go wash some windows. And we were washing windows of storefronts, you know, retail stores around the city and that kind of thing.
And you've grown it into big business.
But see, in America, it's actually quite easy. I say it only takes two things in America to be successful, which is a hard work ethic and core values. Do the right thing every day. Go to work every day. Work hard. And good things will happen.
And listen.
It's really, listen. I've never learned anything while I was talking.
And now you have this firm, Sachse Construction, is up there.
Sachse Construction, yeah. So yeah,
but this is just at the pavement on the street where you can tell there's something going on in Detroit right now.
Right.
And
so
you're a big part of it.
Well, it's a good way to tell it what was, right? So you got to start with what was. And if you're standing here today, just to stop for a second, if you look at all these buildings, from the end of this block, pretty much almost as far as you can see, if you were standing here in 2008, these buildings were all empty. Every one of them was vacant. There was nobody here. It was like a ghost town. Most of these buildings have been vacant for 20 years. One by one, all these buildings, we have slowly been gutting and renovating and putting new infrastructure in. And now, as we see here today, all these buildings are full. And as you can see here, which you probably looked at the other day, is now the retail stores are coming in. You got John Velveeta's here. The Nike stores opening up down the street. These buildings up here on the right, those are all apartments. That real white building right there, we're just finishing up actually next week. And again, you see some people who are walking around here now, but again, 5 years ago, there was nobody here. Literally, every one of these buildings were vacant.
But that's the main story that you hear in Europe right now and remember about Detroit is that you went bankrupt.
It is actually the best thing that happened, because the city actually had been bankrupt for probably about 15 years. I mean, literally, structurally bankrupt. But until it actually went through a bankruptcy process and was able to clean up its balance sheet, and then now have the resources to operate a city with city functions and get rid of you know, a vast majority of their debt, it allowed the city to kind of come back again. I kind of refer to it as a forest fire, right? So, you know, if there's a forest fire and everything burns down, what happens after the forest fire? All of a sudden, saplings start to regrow again.
Yeah, danger men working above. That's good.
All right.
So every time you see this, you're happy or what?
Oh, the sound of construction is like a symphony to me.
Well, I came to the city. I was running from pain. My heart was bleeding, and it hurt my bones to
And then this tall brown
the red one there,
Yeah, that's vacant, 100% vacant.
It is.
Yeah, construction starting on that probably this summer.
If you're supposed to buy a building like this, what would it cost?
So that building recently sold, I don't know the exact amount, but somewhere around $15 million it sold for. That's all.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not. It's not. It was 100%, it's 100% vacant. And it will take a lot of money. It'll take probably $30 to $40 million of renovation to make that functional again.
Oh.
Yeah. So when we get up here, I'll show you, in 2013, we bought this old dilapidated building here in Capitol Park. You know, we bought it, every building in Capitol Park, when we get up here, you'll see was vacant.
Okay.
Basically, if there was only one thing you could get in Capitol Park if you wanted to, was drugs. This was the drug capital of downtown Detroit.
That one?
This one right here.
Wow, that's beautiful.
This big building right here, where it's got Detroit bikes and it's got a coffee shop. It's 127 apartments now. It's 100% leased. There's a waiting list to move in there. And when we bought this, everybody thought we were absolutely crazy because there was nobody here. We said, no, but they're coming.
But you know what, you could, you know, as a businessman, you could say without a conscience, you could have said, all right, I'm just going to earn my money.
Well, this was an opportunity. Let's just talk about why. There's two reasons why. One, let's be honest, we felt it was a great opportunity. We really believe it was happening. And two, you know, in a strange way, we want to give back to Detroit. We really believe this is going to be a phenomenal future city. And I'd love for my kids to have a great city, that if they decide to move back to Detroit, they're in college now, they move back to Detroit, that they have a great city to come back to. Because my kids didn't grow up with a city like this.
No.
You know. So when we developed this...
So that's the restaurant or what? No?
No, this is just a common area for the apartments.
Oh.
So this is when we did this, we had our concept was we're not building an apartment complex, we're going to build a community. So this is the community room for all the residents here. It's kind of everybody's living room. And if you come here in the morning or after work during the week, there's people hanging out here, drinking coffee. There's people sitting out on the porch here now.
So they can come down here and watch the game in 2 hours?
Watch the game. There's free coffee and soda. It's kind of like living in a boutique hotel. That's that's the concept of it. And then there's the patio out here. You can see people sitting out there just working on their computers and that kind of thing. So we just wanted to create something that was different than an apartment building. It's really much more of a community. The downfall of Detroit ended in probably, I would argue, in 2010. And ever since then, it's been now it's on a steady up, and that trend I think will continue for decades. The downfall is over. There's no such thing as a downfall of Detroit, because that's what was, it's not what is.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Todd.
Right back at you. Good luck with everything.